The Battle of Gettysburg was one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War, which makes it one of the bloodiest battles in United States history. Although it lasted only 3 days, this battle resulted in over 50,000 casualties and turned a small, peaceful Pennsylvania town into a hell. But how was this battle a turning point for the Union Army? To effectively study the Battle of Gettysburg, you must first get to know the decision-makers involved. Robert E. Lee, the commanding general of the Confederate Army, was a Southern hero and had the respect of all of his men. Union General George Meade will forever be linked with Gettysburg. Union General John Buford, first Union general on the scene in Gettysburg, claimed the high land for the Union Army. Confederate General James Longstreet was Lee's right-hand man and saw a lot of combat during Gettysburg. Day 1. The battle starts on July 1st, 1863. General Buford was planning on the Confederates coming to Gettysburg west of town. Buford will spread his troops across Ayer, McPherson, and Seminary Ridges. Buford knew he had to be smart because the army that the Confederates were bringing well outnumbered his troops. Buford had to hold out until the reinforcements arrived. The Confederates outmanned the Union armies and had the Yanks retreating to the higher ground of Cemetery Hill. The Union Army decided to bring in all their troops, feeling that Gettysburg had the strongest position by nature upon which to fight a battle. Day 2. Throughout the night on July 1st, the majority of both rebel and Union armies had arrived for battle. Lee wanted Longstreet's First Corps to attack the Union's left flank and then move on up the hill. Meade counters the attack by sending in 20,000 more troops. The Union Army, very important high position, allowed them to take the blows by the rebels and hold strong. While the Union moved all those men to plug the left side, Longstreet was moving men to the right flank to try and take that position. The only army protecting the right flank was the Brigade of New Yorkers. Those men would hold strong, and they were able to ward off the rebel stampede. Union reinforcements arrived and relieved the brave New Yorkers, and although they had lost more land, the Union morale was the champion that day. Union artillery woke the rebel troops on the third morning of battle, in hopes of gaining some of their position back. The Confederates were quick to return the favor. The rebel army would have to stop due to low ammunition. The rebels knew they had one last chance to take the land, so they went all in. At around 3 p.m., 12,500 rebel troops put together an all-out 1-mile hike up the Union Ridge, known as Pickett's Charge. Those brave rebel soldiers, most of them not much older than you and me, gave everything they had on one last effort. They would fail. At the end of the day, the Union Army would win, and the Battle of Gettysburg was over. The South would never again have a chance of winning the Civil War. At the end of the 3 days, both sides combined would suffer 50,000 casualties. General Lee would lose about 2/3 of his entire army. General Meade would not follow up and finish off the rebels. Although Lee would be able to retreat, regroup, never again would the battle be that close. If the rebels would have won the Battle of Gettysburg, who knows how the war could have turned out. We could be living in a cotton-based economy today where the whole country relies on slave labor, which was the South's economic system. Lucky for us, the North had the high ground.